Okay, so it's been a bit of a whirlwind of the last few days or week. Um, the last video you would have seen here is my moving video, but I'm back home now, so there's a bit of a gap there. So I thought I would come on here and do a little bit of a story time about what happened because it was a little bit crazy. So, okay, first of all, I'm doing schooling to become an equine reproduction technician, and that's with Olds College. Well, I live in the lower mainland of BC, and the course is in Olds. But the first two terms are online, so they can be done anywhere. And I just wanted to move there, get myself a head start, get settled in before having to go to classes. So I was looking for a place to live, and I thought I'd just get a job while I'm there and going and doing my schooling online. But okay, so I was looking at places to just rent, but then I thought to myself, what if I could just find a farm where I could live and work full time there and work off my living expenses and then also make some more money. So I just thought, whatever, there's no harm in asking around. I might as well just see what I can find. Well, I ended up posting on an Alberta horse group on Facebook basically that exact thing, that I was, trying to find if I could be like a like a live-on worker. And I actually got a reply. And so this lady basically said, you can bring your horse and your dog. I have 50 horses, 50 cows. There's going to be tons of work for you to do, and you can work off all of it. And now, unfortunately, I talked to her on the phone during all of this. It was all phone conversations. So basically, I didn't have that in writing at all. And I mean, I didn't think anything of it at the time. This is a bit of foreshadowing. But basically the deal was that I could work it all off, and she even said you can work extra hours and make more money on top of that. So it was like too good to be true, honestly, and maybe it was. So we planned it out, and this so not last Friday, but the Friday before, I planned to go out there. And honestly, even like before this, the week before, my grandmother had passed away very suddenly, and so I was already kind of on edge, and my whole family was really emotional. But they drove me up there, dropped me off, and it was pretty emotional. Like, I have 3 sisters. I'm the second youngest, but I was gonna be the first to move out. So my mom was kind of a wreck. So anyways, it seemed like a good situation. One thing that kind of threw me off though was that when I got there, she was like, "Are you really sure you want to bring your dog?" And I was like, "This dog is my best friend. There's no way I can leave her at home. Like, I'm leaving my whole family, at least I need my dog." But then she explained to us that 4 of her dogs had killed her 5th dog by ganging up on her. So that made me a little nervous. I was like, whatever, I'll just keep my dog with me at all times and I won't let her alone with the other dogs. That was kind of like the first little, I'm not going to say red flag because like dogs are going to be dogs, but like it was kind of a red flag. And so anyways, that kind of upset my mom too. Like, she didn't really like that. I mean, all of us were a little surprised at that, because whose dog just randomly kills your other dog? Like, I know it happens, but that's really sad. So anyways, moving past that, my family leave the next day. I'm alone, and she said she'll show me some things to do. So she takes me around the farm, introduces some of the horses to me, and shows me some jobs I can do. So we fed breakfast, and then I kind of made grain for later in the day, and then I did a couple other chores outside, and then I came back inside. And I expected her to give me more jobs that I could do outside, since that's what I was hired for, but instead she had me chopping vegetables, cooking salsa, tomato soup, spaghetti sauce, and corn chowder, and either putting them into containers to freeze or putting them into cans and canning them, or jars, I guess. And then I was also mopping the house and vacuuming. It honestly seemed like she just hired a maid. And I was like, hey, whatever, you know, however I can get my hours. Like, I'm a pretty chill, relaxed person. I was being very polite. Um, but there wasn't a lot of hours. Like, I would be doing one job and then she'd be like, okay, go and hang out, and then, you know, I'll get you to do another job, but I need something else. So it was like really not a lot of hours. I think the first day I worked 3 hours, second day I worked like, yeah, probably 3 again. And so that was kind of weird, like not exactly the job that I was being hired for. And then another thing was that she said to me all of a sudden that I was only going to get $10 an hour for certain jobs, which is ridiculous because where I live, minimum wage is $15 an hour, so that's like a big difference, you know? So that was interesting, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the suite that I was staying in too, because I think this is a little strange as well. She sent me pictures and it was like a beautiful, clean, nice, Western looking suite. But what I didn't know was there were no doors, which is kind of weird. I could hear literally everything anyone else in the house was saying anytime I was just sitting in my room. And then the first night, which was really weird, I can kind of explain how this is set up. So basically it's like a long suite and there's 2 rooms on either end, but there's no doors, or it's kind of like half walls, like you can see all the way across to the other room. And so there's a couple beds in this one that I was gonna live in, and there was a bed and a bathroom in this one, but the bathroom didn't have any walls or doors either. And then there was like a living area in the middle. So it was a nice place, but the first night I wake up in the morning and there's somebody, like I go over to use the washroom and there's someone sleeping in that bed, and I was like, okay, that's a little weird. And she had also mentioned that she was going to have somebody stay on the other side in a couple months, which I found really weird because there's no walls or doors. Like, you have zero privacy if there's someone else up there. Like, that would have been super uncomfortable. So that was like another thing that made me a little uneasy. And then she also mentioned that I could live in the basement if that happened, and she even put a bathroom down there. So it's like, oh, okay, like it must be like just almost finished basement. Well, when I was doing the canning, I went down to the basement, and for one thing, the floor was just concrete, like concrete floor, wooden stairs, like totally unfinished. There was one bed in the corner, but there was like a wall of just every type of stuff you can imagine. Horse tack, like random storage. Like, I could barely walk through it to put the cans into the back room. I don't know where she would have put the bathroom or how she thinks that could have been a livable condition, because like literally, no, there was no way. So anyways, that was just kind of a side note. But so a couple days in, she says to me, okay, so I want you to pay for the first month, $1,500. And it's not like I didn't have that much in my savings account, but when you're like agreed upon doing a certain thing, you know, working off all the hours and not having to pay for anything, it was a bit of a shock. So she wanted me to pay $1,000 for the room and board and the horse board, and then $500 for a damage deposit, which I understood, but like we agreed that I was going to work it all off. So that shouldn't have even been a question. So I was a little uneasy, but I was like, okay, well, and she also wanted me to pay it in cash. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to go to the bank. Like, I don't have that much. So I go to the bank. Well, I go into my car and I'm calling my mom because she asked me what I was doing, and I told her about it, and she freaked out and started crying, and she was like, don't give her the money, because like my fear was that I got it, you know, I could give her the money for the first month, and then, you know, like maybe she just wasn't sure if I was actually gonna work. But thing is, if I gave her that and then stayed, who knows if she would have just given me no hours and then made me continue paying, and then I'm making no money and I'm paying her money, I would just run out of money pretty fast. And it's not like I don't have other bills to pay. Like, I think she just thought my parents paid for everything and I was spoiled, but I literally pay for everything that I have or need, you know? So that was really upsetting. So anyways, I went into town. She lived like a half an hour out of town, not bad. I actually really loved the area and everything. And she got me to pick up a few groceries, so I got those, and then I decided to just get a bit of cash out, not that amount. I went back and I told her that I would like to talk to her, and I explained that what I just explained to you, and she said, well, I didn't think you would want to work that much. And I don't know what made her think that. I don't know if she thought I was just like a spoiled college student, but she's like, yeah, I thought you'd be busy doing your school, but my school's online, so like I also did high school online, so I'm very used to scheduling it out so that I can still work a full-time job, because again, I have bills to pay. So basically she was not happy about it, and she was like, I don't know anywhere that doesn't make you pay a first month. But that's true, you know, but our agreement was that I'd be working it off, so it doesn't really make sense. And then I told her, yes, we should have gotten something in writing, we should have made a contract, but I am a 19-year-old girl and you are the adult. I didn't say this to her, but I did say that we should have had a contract, and then I should have asked more questions and everything like that. And she was not happy. So she told me, okay, well, I don't want to tell you any more jobs to do if you aren't sure if you're gonna stay, because I don't want to waste my time on you. And I said, okay. So I just sat in my room the next day and I was calling people and trying to figure out, you know, if there's anywhere else I could go. And a really good family friend actually knew of somebody who was hiring, but we couldn't get that figured out in time. So I ended up just calling a hauling company, scheduling him to pick up my horse on the weekend, and then getting somebody to haul my horse to another farm to stay for a few days before I could get her hauled home. And so I was talking, like I was literally in my room for hours, crying and talking to people on the phone. And then at the end of the day, I did go down and tell her that I was not going to be staying and I was going to be leaving the next day. And she said, I really don't like the deception that's gone on here. What deception? Like, on your part? Because I was not deceptive. You know, I told you exactly what I was looking for, I explained my situation, and you told me you could accommodate that and everything, and that I would work for you. And then she said that she could have been renting the suite to someone else in those 4 days that I wasted her time. And then I offered to pay her for the days that I was there. Ended up paying her $200 for like 5 days of being there. And then also she had said the day before that if I did leave, she would like minus how the amount of hours that I had already worked from what I would pay her for the days that I was there, but she didn't do that, and I did not want to start an argument, so I didn't even say anything about it. I just gave her the money and packed up my stuff. The next day, this very, very nice old couple came and picked up my horse, and then I followed them back to a farm. Again, a really, really nice elderly man let her stay at his farm. I'm so, so grateful. So she stayed there for 2 days. Then my dad I was staying in a hotel with my dog, and my dad actually flew up the next day, and we went and met the hauler at the farm, and then we drove home. So I got home, I want to say, okay, so it was like Sunday at like 3:30 a.m. So it was pretty early. But while we were actually waiting, my dad and I went to Irvine's tack store. Originally we went there because I had a gift certificate for a pair of boots of a certain brand. They didn't have any there, so I didn't get those, but my good friend that set up the connections for my horse getting somewhere and everything like that, he felt so bad that he actually got me an $150 gift card to spend at that store. So I have a lot of stuff. So I think my next video is going to be a haul of that stuff, but I really wanted to just explain my situation because I feel like sometimes I don't make this account so personal. I just kind of show what I'm doing and I don't talk enough. Let me know if you want me to talk more about things that are going on, because now, well, I'm not doing much barrel racing. I'm letting my horse have some time off, and I am trying to find a job here now. So it's kind of crazy, but I have decided that because of this whole fiasco, maybe it's just, I think everything happens for a reason. I'm trying to stay positive. I mean, I was very emotional, but it was also a hard time in my life for other reasons. So I think this was just kind of like the cherry on top. I'm trying to stay very positive though, and taking this as a time to regroup and relax and probably find a job in a different industry. I'm thinking I might get a service industry job while I'm here, and then I have something for my resume that is something besides horses, because I mean, although I love working with horses and obviously that is my end goal, it is always nice to have a little bit of variety. And then when I go back to Alberta in March, when my in-person classes start, which I am still planning on doing, so don't worry, then maybe I will get a serving job or something in the evening if I have time with classes, because extra money is always nice. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I do have a few video ideas that are going to be happening because I did get quite a few things from Irvine, so I will be showing those. Probably just put them like at the end of a video because it's not too many things, but a little tack haul, so that'll be exciting. And then I also redid my bedroom in the couple days that I've been unemployed here. I've been going crazy, so I did redo that, painted it and everything, so I will do a video on my room tour. And then yeah, I really don't have my things planned out. My life, this is a curveball for sure. I was planning on being in Alberta right now, so it was nice that I got to spend Thanksgiving with my family. I live in Canada, so we did just have Thanksgiving, but I just, anyways, yeah, feel free to give me some feedback. I am a little bit, I think everybody has struggles in their life, and there's always a rainbow at the end of the storm. So I'm keeping my head up, and I have so many people that love me so much that the support is crazy. I've had so many people say, oh, if you'd asked, I would have came and got you. But, I didn't want to ask people for their help. I felt like this was, my fault, my situation. I needed to figure a way out myself, and it worked out anyways, and I'm home safe, and we're all good. Tita's good, my dog's good, nothing went terribly wrong. We didn't have any accidents. It was about 11-hour drive, so pretty long. And yeah, so we're just hanging out. But I also had someone tell me, that it's that woman's loss that I left, because I am so willing to work hard, and I think, I'm not trying to talk myself up because I don't like when people do that, but, she really didn't know what she was doing. And I've had so many people say, oh, she was just trying to take advantage of a young college student, and I fully believe that, because she waited until my parents were gone and I was stranded to tell me that I owed her $1,500, which I totally get, that if we had agreed on that, and we had a contract and it said that I was to do that, I would have been fine with it. But it didn't also seem like I was going to be able to work that off. And she said also, you're going to pay the first month, and then whatever you work can be put towards next month. So either way, no matter how much I would have worked this month, I wouldn't have gotten that money back. So, and I am saving for a vehicle. I'm saving for, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. But I am really good at making salsa and cleaning now, so my future husband should really thank this woman. Anyways, I think I've been rambling on for far too long. I just wanted to get this out of the way so that I can clear up any questions that, if any of you noticed that I was moving and then now I'm back. Hopefully that's a little less confusing. So thank you so much for watching and for supporting me. Your comments lately have been just warming my heart. I know none of you knew I was going through a rough time, but it honestly seemed like it because I was getting so much love from you guys, and I just want you to know truly how much I appreciate that. And we'll get through this. This is, honestly, everything happens for a reason. I just have to wait and see what that reason is. Obviously I wasn't meant to be in Alberta right now, and that's fine, you know, if that's what the plan is. You know, so yeah, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more because this will not deter me from making videos. Even while I was sitting in my room crying, I was uploading videos. As you can see, my schedule was a bit hectic lately, my posting schedule, because I just wanted to get my mind off of things. So thank you so much for watching. Give a like or a comment, and I love you guys. Thank you so much. I honestly can't say that much. Okay, bye.